Hello students. So today's lesson is on finding the distance between 2 points on a coordinate plane. And this is the last part of this unit learning about triangles and the Pythagorean theorem. So what we're going to do is we've got these coordinate planes and we've got 2 points and we need to find the distance between them. So I want to do one example with you first before we fill in the blanks, and then maybe doing an example first would help you fill in the blanks. So we're going to go down here to example number 1, and we're going to try to find the distance between these 2 points R and J. So first I have to plot the point R. So I'm going to go across 3, and then I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be my first point R. And then my point J is 2, -5, so I'm going to go to the right 2 because the first number tells me to go across. And the second number tells me to go up or down. So it's negative, I go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I label it J. And I draw just the line between those 2 points. And there we go. Now, how do I find the distance between those 2 points? Well, you might want to say, well, I could just count. But I can't count because there's no whole squares that I'm going through. So there's no way to count that way. You might have already figured out that perhaps because we're using the Pythagorean theorem, maybe we could draw a right triangle. Well, you're exactly right. So I've got to find a point somewhere on this graph where I could actually draw a right triangle and use the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to try to go right here, because you can see that from that point right there I can draw my right angle, and so I'm going to connect those 2 points. Now if I wanted to, I could use this point way up here, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to use this one. Connecting. And I've got this beautiful right triangle. Isn't that gorgeous? That's just a beautiful right triangle right there. So now I need to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the length of R and J. Well, RJ is the what? Yeah, it's the hypotenuse, which is what letter? You're exactly right. It's letter C. And so what I need to do is find the lengths of the other 2 sides. So let's look at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 blocks long. And this side leg is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks long. So I know one leg is 9, one leg is 5. So I can use my little shortcut. 9 squared plus 5 squared equals C. So I'm going to come over here to my calculator and actually turn it on, because you know that's what we do to calculators. And then we're going to plug this in to the calculator. So I go control square root, and then I do 9 squared plus 5 squared, and I hit enter, and I get 10.2956. Well, let's round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so if I round to the nearest tenth, that would be 10.3. So C equals 10.3. Okay? So now that we've done that example, let's go back up here and see if we can fill in the points from what we did. So to find to fill in the blanks. To find the distance between 2 points on a coordinate plane, first plot the points. And then use a ruler to draw a line to connect them. And if you want to, why don't you pause right now and see if you can figure out what those things are before I continue. So hit pause, fill them out, and then you can start again. But I'm going to keep going. So then we use the points that you plotted to create a right triangle. Find the length of each what of the right triangle? Leg, exactly. And then use the blank theorem. Well, the only one we know is the Pythagorean, so I think we should use that one. Pythagorean theorem to find the length of the hypotenuse, which is also the distance between the 2 points. So we plot the points, connect them, draw a right triangle, find the length of the legs, use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between those 2 points. So let's do one more example for you, number 2. First point J is 3, -1. So I start at the origin. The first number tells me to go right 3. So we had a little technical difficulty there where it stopped recording. So I kept going and didn't know it wasn't recording, but let's go back. So I have point J, which is 3, negative 1. And then we plotted point C, which is 8, 7. So we go across 8 and then up 7 to C. And then I just connected each of those lines. So hopefully now we should be caught up together to what we're doing. And so now what we want to do is find the length of the two legs so that we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So the length of the bottom leg is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes wide. And the height of the triangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes wide. So now we can use the Pythagorean theorem, which would be the square root of 8 squared plus 5 squared. And so we'll get our calculator over here, and we'll do control square root 8 squared plus 5 squared, enter, and we get 9.43398, and we'll round to the nearest tenth, which is 9.4. So equals C, so C equals 9.4. Okay, so again, plot the points, connect them with the line, draw the right triangle, find the length of the legs, and use Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between those 2 points. So you have 2 problems down here at the bottom, number 3 and 4. Will you please do those problems on your own, and then we will talk about those in Math Workshop.